We just finished up at clinic.
CF is a really good space to work in. Like there's
Like
exciting
right now.
stuff happening.
Yeah. Good morning, guys. We're just getting ready to go to the hospital, which Mary may have told you, but
I didn't.
okay. Well, we're getting ready to leave in a few minutes, so we'll see you on the road. Peace.
All right, we made it to the car, and we actually have somebody else with us. You guys have met Morgan before. So Morgan and I were talking the other day, and she was like, would it be okay if I like tagged along for clinic sometime? So basically, Morgan's trying to consider if she's still in college at the moment, but when she graduates, if a job within the CF world somewhere might be a good fit. And so I'm gonna take her to clinic, and I'm gonna introduce her to like different people at clinic and try to get a little snippet of like, what's your job here and how does it work and that sort of thing. So I specifically want to introduce her to the research team because I think you are a medical nerd, you're smart, and you're good with people. So I feel like potentially part of the research team, I don't know. I'm gonna introduce you and see what you think. Obviously Oliver's loving this.
Oh yeah, Ollie and I are cuddling in the back seat, having so much fun.
And we've just been jamming out to some music, doing our normal pre-clinic hype up session. Oh, and Morgan just asked, so is this normal clinic or like how's this work? So this is a normal clinic visit. I have had it scheduled for a couple of weeks, and it'll be like my normal. We'll go in. If there is not a room available at the time, they'll send us off the floor and take our phone number and then call us when a room is ready. And then we'll go in the room, get weighed, get vitals, do pulmonary function test, and talk with my doctor about symptoms, test results, all the things. So it'll be a normal clinic day, except I'll be explaining it all to Morgan as we go.
Let's do it.
Okay, we just got to
all the like Jiminy Cricket
the
stuff.
clinic room. Mary's talking about the Jiminy Crickets. I guess enough people have hit their head and things on this that they put tape on it.
I have.
Mary always starts by weighing herself when she gets here. She's ahead of the game. Good work.
Just doing my thing. This feels like that skit where you're, what is that skit where you're pretending you're in a waiting room? And then one person comes in like with itches, and then the next person has their own symptoms, plus you catch mine. Have you seen that skit? Does anybody know what I'm talking about?
I don't remember it, but I vaguely remember
Oh,
the
I know.
concept.
I think it goes, one person has the hiccups, so then the next person gets the hiccups, and one person has the itching, one person has like a broken leg, and then the last person who comes in is pregnant. And she's like, ah! And then they all run away or something.
That's right.
Well, I am itching right
That's
now.
good.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
a million bug bites, so.
Me too.
Now you all are scratching. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Good, normal first. Good, whenever you're ready, big breath in. Nice job, keep going all the way out. Good, all the way, go, 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 go. Nice job, keep going as long as you can. Perfect.
Okay, we just finished up at clinic. Talked about all the things. We'll update you on the way home.
Okay, we finished, and I introduced Morgan to obviously my doctor, and so she experienced the whole clinic thing and the research people and the PFT techs, which, what did you think of that?
Very interesting.
Do you feel like
maybe
that?
a future career?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
So, we'll see.
Super interesting.
It was fun. It was fun to have you.
Yeah, thanks for letting me come.
Of course. Ta-da! So we're back in the car. Basically, my PFTs are stable up, and so we're celebrating that. And so I'm like, I think the horses are helping my lungs. So we've definitely got to keep that up. And my doctor was very, very excited that I was doing horseback riding, and that it's just a really good exercise for my body and my lungs and everything. So we're gonna keep going with that. We're gonna switch my Advair inhaler to a higher dose for about a month. I've noticed a little bit of like reactive airway stuff, so that might help a little. And we're sitting in the car waiting to drive out, but
we're a little congested.
Yeah. What else? The lung bleed, it's over, so there wasn't much to talk about there.
But we talked about all the things. We talked about Mary's headaches, and she's going to a headache clinic. We were talking about how her sinuses play a role in that, and which is connected to CF and all that.
Here we go. We will see you guys later.
We're stopped in the middle of the city. Mary jumps out of the car and goes, I want to go get a purple flower.
Okay, it's green.
Oh, it's a green.
Okay.
They're so little.
I didn't even see any purple flowers.
Mary, you got out of the car for that.
Yes, look. One of the things we talked about today with my doctor was my daily headaches. In the past, they haven't been quite this frequent. Like, I was getting headaches a lot, but not quite daily. So we talked about that, and of course, right about when we left was about the beginning of the afternoon, and that's when my headaches started. But I took some Tylenol, and I'm doing okay now. I'm glad my headache went away so that I am ready to ride horses. So yeah, I'm not sure where we left off when the cars started going and I had to stop giving an update, but we talked about my headaches, and I think I mentioned on the vlog the other day that after the chiropractor, my headache went away, and then the next day I got a headache, but it was less severe. So I'm curious to see in the future if the chiropractor is able to like help my headaches be less severe or not. I don't know if that was just like a one-day thing. I don't know. But I have a clinic an appointment with a neurologist, like a headache specialist, in 3 weeks, and then we will also be seeing, it sounds like it might be time for a sinus surgery. My last sinus surgery was like 5 years ago, and that was my only sinus surgery. So it's a thing in CF. So if you're like, what do you mean sinus surgery? So with CF, it's quite common to have sinus disease, like sinus issues as well, just filled with that normal mucus that you guys know, is in my lungs. It's also in my sinuses. And I didn't know this, but you have many, many sinus cavities all in your head. It's not just your little nose holes. Although sinus headaches tend to be like up here, or even like down into the jaw or into the eyeballs. And my headaches are almost always on the top of my head. So I don't know, it'll be interesting to talk to this headache specialist and then with my ENT doctor surgeon to see if they think that would be a good intervention. We will see.
Hi guys.
So we did it, we did our clinic day. Now we're gonna do horseback riding, and then we're gonna come home and I'm gonna completely crash probably. We just finished our horseback riding lesson. It was so good. It was
really fun.
Yeah, we were working on weaving, like just basically like learning how to steer more.
They had barrels set up and we were weaving between them, like walking and then trotting through them.
Yeah. And we were working on posting. I think I'm starting to get the diagonal more, which is a thing.
Yeah.
Because that was something I was like having trouble grasping, because but basically the way that our teacher like re-articulated it to me, it helped a lot today. So I feel like lesson number 4, like that was really good. And last week it was so difficult for my lungs, but this week felt less difficult. So it was still a lot of work, and I still have to slow down like quite often, but I'm doing it. It's so fun to do together. Like, I just kind of at the end, I come up and walk next to him. Like, our horses walk next to each other. It's fun. The rest of the time, we're just like focused and trying to pay attention on heels down, arms like together and like low, and being on the correct diagonal and all the things. So it's fun. Peter just came in and appropriately determined within the first minute of being in this room.
I said, "You pretty exhausted?"
No.
Oh.
You said, "Are you feeling pretty dead?"
Oh, feeling pretty dead.
Yes.
Yeah, today was a full day.
It was fun showing Morgan around and imagining if she will work in the CF world in some capacity.
Yeah, and I know some of you guys work in the CF world or the medical world in general, and thank you for those of you who... I love hearing the stories of people who got interested in specializing in CF or like wanting to go in the medical field because they discovered our videos. Like, that is like, whoa, I feel like that is pretty cool.
And that's true for Morgan.
Yeah, true.
You're right, like we hear about it and like part of me feels like, yes! Part of me feels like honored and like humbled, like, are
like
you
sobering.
Serious?
Yeah.
And part of me is like, yes, we need to get more people like fired up about CF. And the head research guy who we were talking to did it today, and we've worked with him over the last 7 years on research studies that I've been in. He was like, CF is a really good space to work in. Like, there's
like
exciting
right
stuff happening, and it's. I mean, yeah, we are a small population, but the research, and this is also cool to me, the research that's going on in the CF realm could potentially, if they were able to figure out some of the mechanisms, it could also potentially affect like MS or other
genetic or...
Yeah, like other disease processes that could be affected by medications. It's kind of like the research people aren't just working on CF medicines, they're working... Yeah, I mean, the CF people are only working on CF, but...
Like some of the companies that are making huge advancements in CF drugs and research are also researching other diseases because they're looking at the cellular level of changing how cells operate, and when you start doing that, you can transfer that knowledge to other things. Yeah. So that's just like... Mary and I got to tour a pharmaceutical last year, and we heard about some of those processes, and it was really cool. And
amazing.
I know some of you guys sometimes ask about, there have been some like pretty awesome advancements in CF drugs that have come out on the market in the last few years, and have asked if Mary is eligible for any of those, and she hasn't been, and
I feel like I'm gonna cry.
As of this date, she's not eligible for any of those drugs, but they're in phase 3 of a trial, which phase 3 is the last phase before they go to the FDA to ask for approval for a drug. So they're in testing for a drug that Mary would be eligible for.
The triple threat.
They call it a triple threat because they're combining 3 different medications to try to, basically, if you're new to this whole CF thing, there's so many genetic mutations within cystic fibrosis. Like
2,000-ish.
And counting.
So that's different ways, even though we have CF, different ways that our cells are communicating or miscommunicating.
Yeah.
So these medications have to be altered.
It's like variations within the mutation. And so the drugs that have come out are for different mutations than what Mary has.
Right.
And so, anyways, it's always exciting and like hopeful to talk to this research people who are just keeping us up to date. Mary's not eligible for a lot of the studies, or pretty much most studies, because of her liver, and because they don't want something to happen to Mary's liver to disqualify or like to mess up the results of the study or to harm Mary.
We respect the fact that we want to keep their data as clean as possible, and
so that these drugs can get on the market.
Yeah, and
so
I really feel like when they told me they're, maybe around a year and a half or 2 years from now, I don't know, between a year and 2 years, this new triple threat could be coming out potentially. It's hard for me to believe because it's never for the last number of years, these new medications come out and it's never applied to me. I can't do the research trials, which I would love to do, but I can't do them because of my liver. And whenever the medications do come out, they don't apply to me. So I've kind of just been used to being like, it's really good news for that population of the CF world. It doesn't apply to me, and I have to just,
and so you're excited about those because of what they are, but it's just like over there.
Right, it's kind of like, I'm stoked whenever I hear that one comes out, but it's always been such like a separate thing because it's never applied to me. So for it to potentially apply to me, one, I'm really nervous because I've heard side effects can be wicked bad.
Yeah.
I'm truly living in New England.
Wicked
Bad. And two, I'm really, really excited. And
yeah, and these are
crazy.
The drugs that are coming out on the market, and the ones that we're talking about are things that aren't cures in any way, but they're doing more than just addressing symptoms, and they're kind of helping the cells operate a little better to improve lung function, and
hopefully, and it doesn't,
doesn't work for everybody.
That's right. And a wise friend who also has CF, and she's trying the medications, and her conclusion is, I'm gonna give it a solid go and like hope that it does something, but also respect the fact that my lungs are older CF lungs, and they are very established with some very bad bacteria, and it is possible that they're not going to do what they're going to do for a fresh set of CF lungs in a child or a teen or something like that. So I think that's also where I am. You know, I want to have a realistic, hopeful optimism, but also face the fact that one, probably going to have some side effects, and two, may or may not do crazy things. We'll see. But all of that to say, also if you're a CF nerd and you want to know, my mutations are Delta F508 and V520F. So there you go.
Which is a pretty rare one. Anyways, there's your CF jibber jabber talk for tonight. And as always, we will see you tomorrow.
Good night, guys. Thanks for coming.
And an all-trace bottle just stuck to my arm. You want to say goodnight to the people? Good night, guys.